Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about risk management and really how to master it, just kind of the rules around that and stuff. I talk about this a lot on like TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, but I wanted to make like a full video really breaking it down because it's one of the most important things in the trading world, and one of the biggest things that, makes the difference between someone who's profitable and somebody who is not. So essentially, obviously, like I said, it's super important. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you do not manage your risk, you're not going to survive these markets. It's very, very crucial. It keeps you in the game a lot longer, lets you be a lot more consistent with profits and stuff like that. There's a million videos out there to just kind of show and explain the math. I am planning on making a video with like the actual math of things and breaking everything down, but I kind of just want to talk about it as a whole today. So that's what we're going to get into. So I wanted to kind of go over the golden rule, which is never risking more than 1 or 2% of your entire account. So let's say, your account's at $5,000 right now. You risk 1 to 2%, which is, let's say give or take $100. Then if you're in profits, let's say you go up to 7,000, then you're risking 1 to 2% of 7,000. So again, lots of math to go over, but we're not going to get too deep into that today. But realistically, why it's so important to manage your risk is just because losing is part of trading. No one's going to win 100% of the time. And so, risking a good amount is going to stop you, obviously, from like blowing accounts and just losing everything. You know what I mean? So, another example, $1,000 account, especially for, a lot of people on here who I know are new. Let's say you do have a smaller account like that. If you're risking 2%, that means the max you can lose per trade is $20. Therefore, you're not, losing $200 of your $1,000 account, which is like gone like that. You can blow an account so easily doing shit like that. So that's why it's super, super important to focus on that 1 to 2% of your account total. Now, when we go into risks and the math of all that, it's very important to also understand lot sizes. If you don't understand lot sizes, I suggest you go watch a video breaking it down. I will talk about it briefly right now, but probably easier to have like a visual video explaining that. But I'm just going to use like gold for an example. If you have a $1,000 account, you risk 2%, that's $20. So let's say you're taking a trade and your stop loss is $5 per like pip, let's say. Not necessarily pips, but again, if you go watch a video that breaks it down, you kind of understand. So if you divide that $20 by the $5 stop loss distance, that is a lot size of 0.4 essentially. So again, probably very hard to understand just by hearing it. So if you want to go watch a video on that, it'll be super, super helpful because quite literally, like, there's no way to manage your risk unless you know how your lot sizes work and what like those numbers mean, because that's how you're managing your risk. So just like the last is going to be a super short video. I'm not a huge fan of, sitting myself, and watching a 1 hour video on something. You're going to lose me. It's done. So that's why I try to keep videos between like 5 and 10 minutes, especially when it is just talking and we're not going over a chart or anything, just because, it's much easier to just pay attention if it's short and straight to the point. So some of the biggest mistakes that happen when it comes to risk management is obviously over leveraging. You're placing trades that are way too big for your account. You're probably like, oh yes, like I'll win all this and all that, but it's like if it doesn't go your way, you're fucking done. Moving stop losses, don't move your fucking stop loss. It's there for a reason. That's how you're managing your risk. If you place a trade, let's say it's a 1 to 6 and you're, risking 1% or you're risking 2% and you move that stop loss, you're now risking 4%. And it's now down to like 1 to 4, maybe 1 to 3. I don't know, quick math. It's just common sense. And again, why it's important to understand, lot sizes and all those things, because you can't be playing around with that shit. Also, just ignoring position sizing, just like I talked about a few minutes ago. Guessing your lot size is gambling, not trading. So unless you have an account, like a funded account, that gives you all the numbers right there for you, telling you this is how much percent you're risking by putting in these numbers. This is how much money is, affiliated to these percentages. Then you're simply just guessing. As you guys know, I am affiliated with a funded account, Top One Trader. It is in the description if you want 20, 30, 50% off, your funded accounts. Link right there in the description or in any bio of any of my social media. Right there on that funded account, it will tell you everything. You don't need to do the math, which is what I like, because realistically, my time is valuable. I don't have time to sit here and draw out math equations to see what the hell I'm doing. So the fact that it's, right there for me and telling me, okay, with this stop loss, with this take profit, this is the percentage, this is the dollar sign, all that. So it's all there for you. So again, if you don't have an account like that, you need to be doing the math. You're not just guessing this shit, because once again, it does turn into gambling. I think people need to understand, like, trading is a skill for a reason. If it was not a skill, if it didn't require, any actual education, information, stuff like that, then everyone would just be doing it and it wouldn't take this long for people to be profitable. It wouldn't be this difficult for people. So, don't be gambling and putting in random shit. Anyways, all that being said, that's literally it. I just want to get straight to the point, go over some stuff, especially for people who are new to the game. I didn't have this information when I started. I had no idea what I was looking at when I was putting in lot sizes. It was fucking awful. But anyways, yeah, so all that just to say, remember, trading isn't about winning every single trade. It's probably not going to happen. You just want to be protecting your capital so you can just keep going the next day, stuff like that. Follow the 1% to 2% rule. Size your positions correctly. That will allow you to actually stay in the game, take a lot smaller losses, which overall is just better for your success. It's not going to fuck with your head as much. So anyways, if you found this helpful, let me know. If you guys have any other questions surrounding this, also let me know in the comments. I check them when I can. I may do a video about position sizing maybe in November. I already have all my videos planned out as we speak, but who knows? So anyways, that being said, I hope you guys actually utilize this, and let me know if you have other questions. Like I said, and as always, happy trading.